I'm in. You're in. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to another
Hello.
episode of Okay. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm delayed then because I said hello first on my end. Anyways, hello. Welcome back to the
Oh, that's
Bench Press
weird.
podcast. I'm one of your hosts.
And I'm the guy that looks both ways before crossing the street. Cheese piece. Along with a very special guest.
Hello, I am the brother of said man who looks both ways for crossing the street. I am Moy Boy.
Hey, boy.
That's me.
Uh, anything interesting happen? Because I got a couple things I want to talk about.
Well, I can go ahead and set the
But
tone of this
what
podcast.
one of mine
Uh
is very damaging, and the other one's kind of hilarious. So
one's what?
one is very sad, and the other one's kind of hilarious. So
Like sad if we make fun of it, we're assholes, or like sad like oh.
Like,
yeah,
you hate
I
to
mean,
hear
yeah.
that.
Okay.
I was gonna talk about like I was watching stuff. There's like a big battle going on in Ukraine right now, and that's what I was paying attention to this entire week. And
Yeah, I
just
think it's called
watching
a war.
videos from that. Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
in war there are battles. Anyways,
Yeah, that's why like you may
let's
have
start
won
off
the
with
battle, but
something.
you never won the war.
That's the phrase.
Yes.
Let's talk about something a little bit happier.
Yeah, let's not talk about Ukraine. That's their deal. I'm in America.
Yeah, it might be Ukraine, but to me it's us crane.
See, God bless. But no, you mentioned you had something you wanted to say to set the tone.
Oh yeah, just if I could really set us on a good, like the pilot episode. So yesterday I saw a man eating his own feces.
Oh,
Yeah, you did
Oh,
tell me about
it
that.
was fucking Nito burrito.
where did you see
Yeah.
that, and why did you watch?
Well, I have to watch him because I'd be like, "Hey, he's doing that. You're gonna have to come help me. I got gloves. You need to get gloves." And the problem was the gloves are little because typically nurses are women,
Yeah.
so they don't have the hands. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they buy the small pack of gloves.
Yeah.
They don't get the large.
Yeah. So I'm in there and like pretty much, Durex condom, how that one's just like extra small, really like
Yeah, like with the webbing in your fingers, you have to like push it down.
Yeah.
And hopefully it doesn't snap while you do that.
Yes.
I
And yeah. Oh no, great day.
Yeah, the only thing I have remotely close to that is at Cane's. For some reason they like to order medium gloves when like only like 2 people in the entire place use medium gloves. But they order them in the same amount each, so we go through the large gloves and then we also start using the medium gloves because we run out. And I have seen a grown man with maybe like gorilla hands try to fit into those, and a singular one of his fingers took up, I think, 2 separate slots. So 3 of his fingers is roughly the equivalent to like an entire hand for another person.
And what kind of
What
gloves are
about
these? Latex or?
They're latex free actually. They're like loose worker gloves. They have like little like
are you
grip
talking about
texture on them.
the little shitty plastic?
Yes, the little shitty plastic ones.
Oh, I fucking hate
But
those.
it was terrifying to watch this man put them on. Just because it was like,
So
your hands are way too big.
I'm a little delayed right now because we're uploading a video on my end, so that's a good problem. But I could also fix that later on.
Okay, I was gonna say. I mean, if we need to. Well, I don't know how far you are in the upload.
72%. So I really don't want to cancel it.
That's a full work day.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm not
Yeah,
sure how long it takes.
it's been going. Oh, Moy, I have internet worse than other countries.
Yeah.
God damn it.
As a matter of fact, I think the defectors of North Korea are like, "Wow, that's shitty internet."
Yeah, I'm pretty
well,
sure
at least you can act
North
with
Korea
the
had
name, so unlike North
me.
Korea. The only porn you're allowed to look up is just Kim Jong Un's face over there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, nothing else. It's just him going, oh.
But did you hear that? Like, apparently he wanted everyone in the country that was named his daughter's name to like change their names. If not, they face like legal action or like
Oh,
whatever
I'm
you call
sure.
legal action in North Korea.
Death,
Oh,
I
it's
think.
just
Yeah.
a bullet to the back of the skull.
Yeah, so if you had a daughter that was named that
But,
even before her, he'll give a fuck. Change it.
Change it, bitch.
what do you call it?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that's U.S.
there's a-
propaganda or North Korea propaganda.
I want to say last year who single-handedly lost all of of North Korea's internet structure, internet whatever they use over there, like probably one. Anyways, he took it all down, and they thought the U.S. government thought there was a going on in North Korea
Oh shit. Well, what did he do?
because they
Unplug
just
the
went
one LAN
offline.
cable?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
He used his laptop. I don't know.
To cut the cord. See?
I don't like him, so I'm gonna fuck with
singular
him.
pair of
I
safety
mean,
scissors.
they're like, hey, we kind of don't want you to do that, but we're also not gonna stop you from.
Yeah.
The good news is leaders only last for so long.
Yeah.
That's how. That's
But
how.
dynasties?
Yeah, that's how we got back from Cuba.
What?
Yeah, that's why there's
What-
no longer an embargo. You know,
Because Castro's dead?
yeah, and then they were like,
He's
"All right,
back.
well now he's dead. Bring it back."
Well, his brother's in charge.
And is his brother cool, I guess?
He's still
I mean, the embargo's
really
lifted.
weird.
I think it is.
Yeah, it really doesn't mean too much of anything in the grand scheme of things.
All I know is that the CIA was being ran by fucking Tom and Jerry. Was the fucking ways they were trying to kill Castro. It was like a poison cake, an exploding cigar, sugar in his gas tank.
Oh yeah, I think there was one involving milk too.
Yeah,
They tried poisoning milk.
yeah. and trying to give him male cow milk.
Man, I hell, hey, wait a minute. Hey, yo, you left it in the fridge too long, kind of thick. Yeah, no,
But
but I have plenty of stories involving just senior year being fucking awful in every way.
I thought you were gonna say Cuba.
I mean, there is. I'm not sure if we're allowed to mention other people in the podcast, but I do have a cousin that's in fact in Cuba.
Yeah, that's fine.
we
They can keep it kind of vague. Yeah, we can be to protect their likenesses, but yeah, we can just say cuzzo.
and if
Yeah,
you say
he has
you make more for
souvenirs.
me, and I have to bleep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but yeah, I just have a cousin over there, and he has like souvenirs that are like partying in Fidel or like Castro's backyard. And yeah, and it's like a full pin and everything, and it's like exactly what you expect a frat boy to have. So he's like living like
La
you
vida
know,
loca.
he, yeah, I was gonna say more like the college experience without being in college.
Like if you had a rich parent, like
yeah,
you don't have to go to college. They just give a big sum of money, and you just have to show up to like one test a week.
yeah, he just has to go on his occasional patrols and stuff like that, and he's it. That's it. But other than that, he has like little souvenirs that are like, yeah, drinking in his backyard and shit. So I'm just like, this motherfucker, like, you're supposed to be defending the country or some shit,
Yeah.
and you're just out here like,
He's buying shirts. Like I'm somebody who went to Cuba and got me nothing because the embargo is still going on.
yeah, like, it is. I just forget sometimes,
Yeah.
and it's hilarious every time I remember it. But yeah, but the first time you told me about the dude who was eating his own shit, quite literally, you just said like, "Oh, I watched a dude eat shit," and I was like,
Oh.
"Oh, like he fell down like a flight of stairs,"
Yeah.
and then you were like, "No, literally," and I just kind of like, "What?"
Yeah.
I did not believe. Like, I always thought that was like a meme of the psych ward.
No.
Same thing with like, I think the guy who said he diddled himself.
Oh yeah. Had someone jerking it too. That was neat.
Yeah, I thought those were like the memes. Like, no one ever does that. Like, they're crazy because like I don't know, depression or some shit.
Yeah.
Not like they were like, oh shit, like
You
I
got
just
some
gonna-
depression if you're eating your own shit. That's some heavy depression.
Yeah, like
Look, my theory is that you don't get enough nutrients unless you digest it twice. Cows have 4 stomachs. This
Yeah,
man, he's
but we're
ahead of the
humans and
evolutionary curve.
we don't
but yeah, but there's not like a butthole
you
between each
nurse.
stomach. Like,
Look, all I know is that these kids out here eating ass.
and you
No,
know what? That's how they get their nutrients.
Exactly.
Remember, you gotta use every piece of meat on the animal,
Mhm.
and that includes the ass.
Yep, dude. It's just you know how they call like Rocky Mountain oysters, like bull testicles,
bull
Rocky Mountain oysters.
test.
Yeah. So like, is there like a I don't know rib and job fajita for eating ass?
If you want the
What?
authentic ass experience, wait, okay, hold on. So I'm not sure if y'all ever watched Tosh.0 back in the day,
It's
but
been a while.
but it was at the point where like Google first introduced like the automated searches. Like you type in something and it would like suggest something for you.
Yeah.
But it was like the first time they had done it, and they hadn't filtered a lot of the results. So if
Mm.
you typed in like A or you typed in like Asian, it would straight up just be like, like Asian ass porn. And then it's just like, whoa, I just want to search for some Asian food here. And like it was just shit like that. Like there was no like NSFW filter. It was straight like you would type in like
No safe
cream and then
search
it would just
on.
immediately take you.
The what?
No safe search on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there no safe search didn't exist. There was search.
Yeah.
And then if you search up like big, it'd be like, oh, I know exactly what you mean.
We got you, fam. Don't you worry.
And I thought that shit was the funniest thing back in the day. Fucking. Oh, whatever happened to
Speaking of back
Tosh.0?
in the day,
Oh, is this the
um,
sad one?
no,
No, the Ukraine's current, dude. They got
when I was
shit.
in high school, my senior year, there's a guy in a few of my classes. Um, we'll call him A.
Guy in a few of your classes. Okay.
They call him Ah.
We'll call him A. Was uh
Did Craig just
in
leave?
like my TV production class. No, Craig's still here. He's still recording.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was no. He just
Pretty sure
reconnected.
he's still recording.
Yeah,
Oh,
Discord
he?
requested us to reconnect. Yeah, he says he's reconnected though.
Yeah,
You're good.
yeah, he left and reconnected like really fast.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, A was in one of my in a few of my classes, and towards the end of our senior year, um, one of my classes was drama, and I don't know why I got put in the drama class. I hated it. Anyways, towards the end, A weird the ring around it. Day I see my teacher, my drama teacher, and I go, "Why are you wearing A's necklace?" And she comes up to me after she does her little work call. She goes, "Oh, I didn't know you knew." I'm like, "I didn't know I knew what." I was like, "Okay." And so we get later down the road, and we get into the theater because they're practicing some skit for the school play that the school is putting on. I didn't have anything to do with it. I was setting up audio equipment up in the booth, and she comes and tells me, "Oh yeah, me and A are dating." I was like, "What?
Like the
Excuse
teacher?
me?" Yeah, the teacher and the student were dating, but he had dropped out to date her.
What a
I was
guy.
like,
Whoa.
I
Damn,
was like,
that's some.
"Excuse me?"
That's
This
some,
teacher had a whole ass kid. She
probably
was
his age.
fairly a young. She was a younger teacher.
So
She was
it's like
probably
talking
in
about
her
30s or 40s.
mid-20s,
Oh, that's young,
Oh.
young, yeah.
mid to late 20s. Uh,
I mean, he's
and
like,
I was like, okay. And I did what any other fucking kid at that time does, and I told
Okay.
some other people
Ask
that were
her
in
to
my
take you out,
class. Uh,
okay, okay.
and
Two ones. Two different ones.
yeah,
you want to fucking turn on the bike or?
I got really bad. But I'm like, well, dude, I can't get information itself at that mind.
Okay.
Jesus Christ! Hold up, man.
And-
You are
Oh wait, okay,
so
hold on.
fucking transforming right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
hold
am
on. You're
I?
gonna need to repeat like the
Yeah.
last minute of stuff because
Just
we
to, yeah,
were understanding you before, and then you went full Transformers.
yeah, like at least the last like 15
Okay.
seconds.
The fucking sky the
So
bop,
basically,
boop, bop.
I said that I told some other people in my class about it, and I got around the whole felt really bad about that. But what I do at that age? I was like 17.
Also, if
I
he
can't
dropped out, it's no longer. Well,
myself.
how old was he?
I hope 18.
I believe he was 18.
Well, I mean, what's the age of consent in Florida? Well, yeah, for sure, right?
16.
God, no
Oh,
wonder.
that
you
means he was
fucking-
2 years old already, dude. Fucking.
Oh yeah, they've been fucking for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know how long that was going on. I also wasn't going to ask too many questions after that because I'm bad about letting it get around the school.
I would
I
have. You're 17.
put
You
a
don't know
two
how
and
sex works.
put two and two together with the ring thing, and yeah, I still think about that quite often because they're still together, by the way, as far as I know. So I guess
Oh, do they have a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't keep up with anybody from my high school.
I don't know, but her previous kids is gonna be like, "Hey, sup, homie." Like he's not even gonna be like, "Hey, what's up, stepdad?" No, it's gonna be like, "Hey, bro, you want to go out for drinks again?" Oh yeah, man,
Oh,
got you.
Well,
let's
her
go.
kid was still like maybe 1 or 2 at the time.
My man got that 3P, dude. That postpartum pussy. Jesus.
Oh,
Yeah,
hours. She also said she gave me the keys to her car, and I didn't have a driver's license.
you didn't crash the car, did you?
Did you get Subway?
I did. The subway was
What'd
right
you
down the
get?
road. I don't remember what I got for her. I just knew I had to go get Subway.
Yeah, that's
I got a cookie out of
absolutely
it.
fucking.
With Subway, you have to be like oddly specific about your order.
Yeah.
You have to be like, "Can I get a cold cut and like lettuce, tomato?"
Well, this
You-
was years ago. I don't remember what fucking sandwich she ordered.
Oh,
Well,
okay,
yeah,
but she did order something specific though.
she had to have.
Yeah. Man.
Dude, yeah, dude, that's a fucking wild experience.
Yeah.
The closest thing I have to that is maybe there was one teacher back in the day of or it's a very common name,
You know what? You're not wrong,
but I don't know. Maybe after the rest of the
God
description
damn it,
happens,
boy.
I'm sorry. You might want to make a mark of that.
a mental note.
Yeah.
We'll fix it in post.
15 minutes in, I gotta fucking
I'm sorry. So
bleep something.
there were several times during the year she had I forgot what class. Honestly, I don't think a lot of guys remember that class either for certain reasons. Yeah, she was basically like literal supermodel material. And she was just like teaching in this high school that was like low income. So we were like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Oh yeah, like our pants are made out of denim, but they're worn denim. They're pretty thin. You will see it. Oh wait,
Yeah.
what subject?
The-
What subject did you teach?
It was Mexican American studies. Mexican American history studies.
So what did she do? Say talks amongst yourselves?
No, this was like a college class. There was like an actual STC professor that would
Oh
show
my
up
God.
and
What
like
the
he
fuck?
taught it and then she was kind of like
STC?
PA. South Texas College.
Yeah. It's a
Oh.
community college.
Speaking of,
Yeah, it's a community college.
I'm sorry to interrupt your story about that, but did you hear about the 2 people that got like kidnapped right like on the border of Mexico yesterday?
Yeah, they were there for they were Dutch tourists. Or
Oh,
something.
especially if you're Dutch, you're a rare commodity. I hate to break
Yeah.
it to you.
I think they were down there for a tummy tuck and they got fucking kidnapped.
Yeah, 2
Oh,
of
well,
them
to
are
be fair, like
dead.
very cheap.
2 of
I
them got
thought there was
murdered.
only 2 of them.
No, there's 4 of them.
Oh, I don't.
Oh yeah, no, they're straight up like if you go to the border and you're like white, like blue eyes, like blonde hair white, they will be in fact like you are rare, like they will ransom you.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
It
yeah,
is
there's also an
absolutely-
ongoing like turf war between the cartels right now, so doesn't surprise me.
Oh, that's always happening to be fair.
Yeah.
Well,
Every
a
few
big
years
one.
there's a Dutch stuff.
Nah, I don't.
Yeah, okay.
No, there was a couple. Like I don't know. I grew up 15 minutes from the border, so
Yeah.
for us it was like
Well,
fucking.
it was 15 minutes to cross legally, but 10 if we just wanted to go through the fence.
Oh yeah, it wasn't a long drive. You could walk there if you really wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we were like, "What are you doing here? You're way too like nice to be here."
Yeah.
And so went to her classes, got my college credits or whatever. Come to find out, like a year or two later, that she straight up like is now like I think I saw like I followed her on Instagram. So did a lot of other guys, and she's straight up in the Bahamas modeling for like a lingerie company, like bikini, like everything, like full
Hey,
pay
man.
trip. So she
I'd do
was
the same thing
literally a
too.
supermodel.
Yo, was she showing tootsies
Fuck
though?
them kids.
No, dude, it was respectful modeling too. So
Oh,
we knew that
damn.
like,
Respectful modeling.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
because there's like the ones where you're just like, hey, look, here's my nippies, and it's like,
Right.
you know,
Or have you ever been like on Reddit? It's a R asshole behind thong. Like they might be still wearing clothes, but it's a thong and you can see their asshole behind it. She was-
What?
yeah, like there's also the ones where like they have the bikini, but you can still see their nipples through it. So it's like
Yeah.
it's cheap material. You didn't even cover it.
Right.
But no, these it was like it was
These
respectable
were
and like
tasteful
and these were
models.
like they shared like whole photo sets and like everything. Like if you searched her up, it's like a whole thing. And I was like, what the fuck?
All right.
I was like, this was some lady teaching me Mexican American history.
Yeah.
Only thing is, I will say the one nitpick every guy in school had, which is very concerning for all of us. We all thought her feet were fucking gross. She had like crone's feet,
like,
like a witch crone.
She gets.
is it like
She got
that,
some
that
witch's
banded
feet.
ballerina shit? Witch's feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just didn't like everything made sense unless
Why
she
are
wore
you looking
sandals.
at her feet, Moy?
Exactly why I said it was concerning for everybody, because all of us were like, she's so. But then every time she wore sandals, we were like, something's off here. It's like something got removed.
Can't
Like there's a disconnect.
100%, I guess.
But to be fair,
Teacher thing.
everyone would agree 10 out of
Sorry.
10 though.
My TV production teacher. Remember this? He married one of his students too.
In college or in high school or she out of it?
What kind of high school
It
you
was
going
after
to? Bud?
after she was done with college and all that. This was years later. He had
Oh,
divorced his wife. His wife had a failed marriage, but then like years later, he reconnected with the student of his, and they had made things work. And they had like another kid or whatever, and it was his current wife. I just remember that flashback into my head. He was like one of the teachers too. He once told the kid to go drink bleach
memory
and play in
unlocked.
traffic. I
Dude, fucking
gave her one because she wouldn't
what?
shut the fuck up. He's trying to do roll call and she's just talking, and he's like, I don't remember this name. Fucking Samantha, go drink bleach and play in traffic. I was like,
That was a
God
good update.
damn.
Yeah, well, I think this is when like drinking bleach and eating Tide Pods was like a genuine insult.
Oh yeah.
Like this wasn't, but this was before Gen
Yeah, it
Z
was.
started growing up realizing that
Yeah.
there's comedy.
He also told her to slowly stop breathing. I mean, he was joking, but I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I hope your breaths turn shallow.
Yeah.
That's some shit that like a Victorian villain would wish on you. May your last breath be shallow. And like may the water you drink be poisoned. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, but what kind of backwards high school are you going to? Teachers are like, I like that one. And it's like,
Yo,
Yeah,
this is flawless down here.
What was it? It was a PPS, pedophilia public school 338. Like,
excuse me? I have never heard of that.
you've never heard of public school like 338 or like 218?
No.
Yeah, so
this is new information.
it's just a public school that they open for the public because all the rich kids go to the nice schools.
Yeah.
So they have to open it up for the poor dumb kids, and they don't
Oh,
name
and
them
then-
after anything. So
Yeah.
they're like, what could you name it? They're on like 59th and I don't know, Cesar Chavez. Like,
Yeah, they're like, oh, we already named one after that guy.
Yeah. so they're like, fuck it, it's a PS 138, and it's just public school 138.
their scores are dead ass
I
numbers.
dead ass.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
PS, I guess I'll put.
That's the
138.
epitome of bureaucracy if I've ever heard of it.
Oh yeah.
So that's like something involving children. Pretty sure the ID numbers they have are just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Yeah.
10.
And they reuse them every year.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, now you're upgraded. You're B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're B1, you're B2.
Yeah, here you go. Public School 138, Brooklyn, New York City.
Oh my god, they just put like
Oh,
whatever city
138.
it's in.
Yeah, P.S.138. They're in District 17.
Oh my god, those poor bastards.
Yeah.
They couldn't even name it after the city because there's too many.
I
of
don't
them.
know.
Yeah.
They couldn't. I thought there was like just a name, like the name, like the road song.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah,
Like
well,
138th Street or some
3.1
shit.
stars.
yeah, 138th
3.1
Street School.
3.1 stars out of 5 on Google. Oh, what a review is like. Hey, I wanted to read the Google reviews, asshole.
Dude, some Google reviews be wild.
My
'cause it
nephews
just
attend this school. They hate going to school. One was assaulted by a girl. Nothing was done about it. The other one was stabbed with a pencil.
Forbid.
Another student that cursed my mother out when she went to the school. There's no type of supervision in the lunchroom. New students were seen being bullied by older kids, and no one seems to care. They need to replace the principal. She's ineffective and seems to be there only for a check.
Okay,
What do you want the principal to fucking do? Go RoboCop on their ass?
Okay, the
That was
principal
a
one's not
one-star.
good. Principal two in.
Here's a 5-star review. My son attending this school. He graduated with 3 Regents test under his belt. Don't know what that is. With every school, there's always some growth, but it takes much to raise out and come together as a community. Thing our schools just won't be able to accomplish. I understand like 80% of what you said.
I really expected the review to be like, my kids love it. They got to stab someone with a pencil and bully him in the schoolroom without getting in trouble.
My daughter has a new bitch.
Yeah, my daughter's a new bitch today. One every day of the week. This school's great.
She doesn't carry her
5
books
stars.
at all.
5-star review. It's very short. Violence is an issue, but it's the best school I've been to. 5 stars.
As long as you duck your head and stay in cover, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Cover me. I'm going to math class.
I'm pretty sure that school they don't even fucking have hardcover books because they're scared that kids are gonna beat each other with them.
Oh, without a doubt in my mind.
It's all soft cover.
Even then, dude, paper, like if you just like cover
There's
you can fucking
just
smack
other
it.
ratings without reviews.
Oh,
Okay.
my God.
I'm gonna say majority of them are either 1 star, or
Yeah, not
maybe
great.
either 1 or 5. There's no in between apparently.
There's like some 4 stars. There's some 5 stars, but most of them are like 1, 2. It's like a split between them all. They don't break it down.
So
for
there's
me
no
on,
3.
like,
There's no like average review where it's like
Took the
No.
good with the bad.
There's no like
Yeah.
average review. Yeah.
yeah. Whenever a place has like a 3.5 rating, I always assume it's just 1 or 5 stars, and the 5 stars they got because they were like, "We'll give you $20 if you give us that review," and then 1
Yeah,
star is well.
It's kind of like the way I take it with like ratings of video games. If you see like a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10 on a video game, it's probably gonna be like dog shit because it's probably like a big studio
Yeah.
company, and they're not gonna give like 2. It's essentially them giving them a 1.
Oh yeah. That's why I always preferred the ones that are just very like 8 or 9, because that means they had like some bad reviews, but for the most they're positive.
Right, it's at least gonna be an okay game.
Yeah, because even like a
Yeah,
perfect
like
game, people will complain like, it's
83%.
too perfect. There's
I know, dude. Well, like Yi doesn't like The Last of Us. That's an 11 out of 5 game.
it is a phenomenal
Fucking
game.
The Last of Us is a dog shit game.
Sounds like someone didn't make enough shivs.
Did you get clicked up?
What?
Did you get clicked up? You know the clickers?
Eh.
The click, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just
I just found the story quite boring.
I will give you that. It is
Yeah.
very like
I like
It's
the
just-
gameplay more than the story.
yeah. It's
Apocalyptic game.
my favorite
People
one
who-
was like
Ooh.
go first.
No, I just burned my finger. I was lighting
On
incense.
what? On your
Yeah,
incense?
incense.
Where the fuck
Yeah.
is the incense in your like on your desk?
It's next
Yeah.
to me. Yeah, it's looking incense.
If he moves his mouth too fast, he burns himself.
Right, like you fucking.
Well, no,
At that point,
I'm.
just put the
You have
fucking
to use lighter.
incense in your nose. What?
That's
You
how
use
it
a lighter for the incense.
burns myself with the lighter.
Aren't you an experienced smoker?
I
Does he smoke?
Yeah.
have to hold the fucking incense. Is oh, it's not. It's maybe an inch and a half.
How many bananas is that?
I don't even
At
know.
least maybe like to these here. I'll take some out and I'll them out in a line until it looks like a length banana length. And I can. I'll do it real fast style. What they're doing over there.
Dude, I told my engineering professors about that,
Uh-huh.
and they both fucking
God.
loved it.
Oh, dude.
Do they have an answer to why they do that?
Yeah, for scale, it's
Like, why would What do you mean? For scale?
it's a common measurement that you can like anybody who looks at it can be like, oh yeah, that's about that much banana. That's literally it.
Okay,
There's
but what
no
about
other
like the
reasoning.
elephants? People don't. Most majority of people have never seen a fucking elephant in their life.
I've been
Yeah.
to the zoo.
Yeah, that's why they don't say elephant for scale. Like everyone's seen a banana, so they'd be like,
Okay,
yeah,
you've seen an
banana.
elephant in the zoo, but you haven't been up close to an elephant. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna be able to weigh it with my eyes. That's why I read the thing at the zoo.
Yeah, but have you not heard like the
Anyways.
American units of measurement? There's like I got about like 3 corgi lengths worth of, and if you had to guess, it's about 2 football fields worth. Like it's none of
Anyways,
the measurement.
there's I would say 8 inches to a banana.
Yeah,
No, I'd be.
It's probably the incense.
probably the banana.
Just okay. So what's the cone incense, right? We're gonna break this down.
Yeah.
So he has the cone incense. Why
Okay.
doesn't he just put the lighter and then turn the flame to where it's up away from his thumb and then just hold
Well, I
it
think
there
because
for a
it was
second?
lower, so when he did this, it came up and then it like burned him.
So he has no concept of heat rises.
Maybe.
When he pees, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go higher so I get away from my pee." when he
Yeah,
pees
so if I
underwater."
arc it, then it'll like land straight down.
No, it's
But
hot,
in
it
reality,
stays
you're
up.
just peeing and it just shoots back up at you because it's fucking splashing.
Okay.
Well, my like if it's a cone incense, you can like light it in your hand and then light it and then you can just put it down because it's not like it's gonna like it's not just gonna like in one swift
Yeah, that's
motion
what
burn.
I did. But when I went to go put it, that's when I went to put it. I touched the top of it, the cherry part.
Also, why is it so close to you?
So you can sniff it.
I have a small ass room. No matter where I put it, it's gonna be close to me.
He's gonna. This man goes to bed and it's like ah.
To
I'm
put it
sorry
on-
about your burn finger.
To put it into context for you, my room is probably
Alright.
half as long as your streaming room, but twice.
Half as long, but twice as wide.
It's an enigma. It's a riddle.
Bro,
So
you're
we can go
you're on
with
about
it.
That means
Rainbow.
it's
It's
the
about
same
fucking
size as the
bananas.
finger, You just flip the dimensions.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mathematically speaking, it's the same shit.
Yeah, it's still a long ass rectangle.
Yeah, but it's not a rectangle.
Okay, I get what you mean, but that was such a weird description.
Yeah.
Like I didn't,
Well,
like,
I
he
can't
cuts
say
it
it's
off
about
and
the
then he
size
puts,
of your.
It's not the
It's about
same
the size of your
shape as a streamer.
streaming room is very long.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a small place. Fuck's happening in Florida?
Rent is going up.
Probably.
Yeah, dude. Well, everybody's trying to move in for all
It's-
the children. Apparently, you got a teaching job. Come
I
down.
don't fucking know.
Okay, you can't work at one school 35B.
Home of the fighting
Schools here are
children.
ridiculously packed. That is one thing. The school I went to was like maybe had like twice, 3 times the amount of kids that it honestly needed. But it was
Yeah, well, where are you gonna?
not that much because our football team was really good. So the football team kept the
Yeah.
school afloat.
Yeah.
That is, to be fair, I think it worked the same for us too.
Oh, pretty much. Yeah.
Fucking the high school was like our football stadium was like way overdone for what like we were pumping out.
Oh, absolutely.
The stadium isn't what the money into. It was like kind of did backroom doors with like kids.
With what kind of kids?
They recruited kids.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So instead of like getting kids in your district, they would go look for them outside the district and like fake like addresses and things like that.
Okay.
you telling me they would draft pick children?
Yeah,
Florida, man.
it's a very common thing to do in high school. It's more common
Are
than
you
what
kidding?
you.
They're fucking picking them off to marry them. You think they wouldn't pick them off to try and play football?
Hey man,
Yeah, but I didn't
It's a
expect like, oh, Timmy, his math grades are a bit low, but we can fake those in.
Yeah.
Okay, he can run a hell of a poster out.
Oh,
pipeline state, man.
Ask him where the post service works though.
nope.
I just never pictured fantasy.
There's a guy I
football
went to high
fucking-
school with that made it to the NFL. He didn't make it for long, but he made it.
I mean, just to make it in general is incredible.
Yeah. First
Yeah.
play, just fucking knee just got blown out.
That's, as long as the contract was the year, you get
Yeah.
it.
Oh my god.
No, dude, what the hell? I have never been to Florida. I actually have been to Florida.
You have been to Florida. I've been to
But I
Florida
went to
several
like
times.
yeah, I've been to like the one place that's like people go to, which is Disney World.
Everywhere,
we don't-
yeah. Have you gone to probably like Orlando and to Disney?
Yeah, we went to the nice places.
Yeah, the place for all the funding that they take away from
Mm.
the schools goes to.
Yeah.
Well,
Did you burn yourself
That's what-
again?
no, that Disney being a nice place, but yeah, no.
I don't know.
What is
dude.
it?
I
The
went
governor's
to
trying to take away Disney's a tax exempt status, which is whatever.
Oh, I
Over
saw
there.
that. Yeah.
I that Disney doesn't pay tax, but like
You're telling me this?
Also
does
not a-
not pay- what the fuck?
what do you? Yeah, they're multi-billion-dollar corporation. Of course, they're not going to pay taxes.
Yeah. So I think the
Do you
deal
think
was
rich
like,
people
hey,
pay
we're
taxes?
bringing this here. We're putting all this
Yeah.
work, all these
Yeah,
things, all the
infrastructure.
GDP is huge. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that was
fuck
the
you, we're
deal,
not
and
gonna
then
pay
they're
tax.
like, yeah, that's essentially what it is.
You're telling me the IRS has incredible power. Can stop the IRS.
Yeah.
What
Well,
a unit.
yeah, dude. They can't. The IRS can't stop Disney.
They're their
They're
worst
coming
enemy.
for our guns somehow.
Fucking good luck.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I don't get-
somehow.
yeah. I don't. How do you do that? Be like, you have a gun tax?
Yeah, no, you don't.
Oh, here's the gun tax.
Yeah.
like
And then
Yeah,
they,
that
like,
was
every
one of
time
the
they say
weird
something,
ones.
They just keep. Yeah. What,
That
like,
was one
what are they gonna do?
The
Like,
weirder
oh,
ones that I heard. The IRS is going to take your guns. What did the IRS care about that? That's the ATF. At least make it make sense if you're going to make a fake conspiracy.
right. But they're scared of taxes, so if we fight the tax man, we always win. Taxes are not going to anything that I care for, other than police officers. Not pay their salary.
oh, I don't know why this
Exactly.
reminded me of it. I think one of my friends might be going schizo
Oh no!
because he's sending me like the weirdest memes I've ever seen.
Oh,
and
those
one
are
of them is like
memes, though.
me mowing down the skinwalkers in my front yard. For some reason they're all wearing IRS windbreakers. And it's just a dude firing like a gun outside the window. and it's just like my grandma has a skinwalker.
Oh my god.
It's like, yeah, but for some reason she kept calling me by my name. Weird.
Oh, they're in too deep. They've been watching me for years.
Yeah, like
He's just into
and people-
Skinwalker memes. Like my favorite memes right now are the AI fucking president memes.
Oh, those are good though. My favorite are the ones where
Oh
like
yeah, they
Trump
are
is like,
good.
extremely toxic and Biden's just like, oh, I swear to God.
There's one that I saw the other day. It was them trying to play a D&D game, and they're all arguing at each other, and Obama's there trying to be a good deal. Like, hey, that's me. That's me right there. That's what I deal with every Sunday.
And then- Hashtag relatable. God, yeah, you do have to deal with like so many things,
Oh, absolutely.
and especially me and my bad perception checks.
You can't fucking.
not
Yeah,
my
I
fault.
checked every room for a trap, and guys, Godspeed, there was not a single thing there that I saw.
Mhm.
There's some room that some dude farted in super hard, but like,
Yeah.
other than that, we're about good. Oh, the fucking, it's incredible. But yeah, in other news though, fucking don't do robotics for people in
All right.
college. It will make you
I'll-
angry.
I was about to say more. We've talked all about stuff, tangents and whatnot. We haven't talked about what you do or what you're doing as your college student for robotics, right?
Yeah, I am the official thing of presidents. I'm the president of. Well, except a little bit. President of robotics at university.
You just doxed your location, boy.
Do you know what? It's not that great of a title, so it's fine.
Well, like, okay, just don't
Like
say
like if here's this,
stop.
Oh,
there might be a bit.
God, you're making more work for me.
Okay, Ed,
I'm a
insert.
president of robotics at
I have my-
university.
at my
You already
uni.
said it. I have to.
Okay. Okay, hold on. We're just gonna start
Okay.
back so you can just cut out the entire
No.
section.
Don't clap.
No, we're doing it live. We're continuing.
Like-
You're
like
just making more
actually?
work for me.
Which sounds like a very exciting
Okay.
thing, but boy
Are
howdy,
you
is it
going?
stressful.
Are you going for like a bachelor's, a master's? What are we doing? Associates?
Oh yeah, bachelor's of science in mechanical engineering, and then I technically have a minor in programming.
Okay.
I also should have a bachelor's of science in mathematics that comes with the. So
Oh, so
it's a lot of stuff.
yeah. You have like a dual degree. You know, you'll graduate with like 2 degrees.
Unfortunately, that's not the case because I didn't declare it initially, so it doesn't count.
Oh, that's stupid.
Because they say you need to declare it so that way they know it's your focus. But I took every single class plus more from engineering for that.
Can you just go and say like, "Hey, I did these credits in like a year ago. Can I get a degree for this, and I'll pay you like $5,000?"
Well, yeah, you usually have to pay for like the scholarship or pay for to graduate.
I mean, maybe that could be something I do further, but for the most part, people
Yeah,
know
that's
that
what-
if you do engineering, you have a mathematics degree. Like you, it's kind of like
Yeah, but at this point, you can
Yeah.
just make like people have those puzzle walls, the walls of puzzle.
sure.
You know how they do puzzles and they
Anyways.
glue them and then put them on the wall.
Mhm.
You could have that.
I have
but
a
in just
question.
degrees.
I have a question regarding your robotics stuff. Are you like studying like drone programming and that kind of thing?
Not drones because we don't actually have anything that flies.
Is
But
that
the-
what makes a drone?
Oh,
Well, a drone is just kind of
Yes,
like an
that's what a
autonomous
drone is.
unit. So there's technically like you can make like a drone that's just on land, like
A land drone?
you know how like Rainbow Six Siege has those little like robo dudes that you throw out.
Yeah.
If you made that autonomous, it'd be like a drone.
You know what it reminds me of? You know those commercials you'd see with for the fucking RC car that can never be flipped upside down.
I have unironically made that. It is
Hey,
very
man, that's
simple.
useful.
There's literally a thing where I made it like basically it has a camera that is set to max brightness And if suddenly you flip it over, it's only going to detect darkness. So then it'll know to flip all your controls. So like it's just like
Just
simple things like
that,
that that you can do.
Can you do that with a gyroscope though?
Yeah, but we don't have that. Like the robotics there is currently very new. Like it's only been there for like the past 2 years.
Yeah, they're sponsored by like Home Depot, and that's because they had the company card. Like,
Yeah, they maybe put the entirety of one kid's tuition into like the entirety of robotics, which is a lot of money. I think they said for one of my courses for the entire class, it was like I think it was like $20,000 worth of robotics equipment. Each kid got like a $2,500 kit.
which to be honest
Okay.
sounds like a lot, but it really isn't.
Yeah, like that's why we were like,
It's
that's
not
like
nothing.
one of
Yeah, it's not. Well, if I piss on somebody's leg, that's not nothing. But if he's wearing pants, he can just change. Like,
Well, it's funny because while we were using this equipment, we were like, oh, it's maybe like $500, $800 at the most. One of us searched it, it was $2,500 each, and we were like, and that's because you made that thing do a 360 it wasn't supposed to do. And I'm pretty sure someone also nearly caused a fire during one point.
Oh, I'm surprised
Something with
you haven't had more fires.
it has to do with a thing called potentiometer. It just tracks how much like rotation it has done. And some people did not respect that and made it go in like full like 360 motions it should not be doing. So it caused a lot of havoc.
a potentiometer?
That is
Yeah.
yes, that is.
Yeah.
That's a fucking word.
It's
Yeah.
basically a thing that if you put a shaft through and it spins too far, it'll be like, "Hey, stop that."
So what do you mean? So you put a shaft in. Let's say
Yeah, like a drive
like-
shaft, and then
Okay, yeah.
if you connect it to a motor, it'll like read whatever the motor does. So you can actually track how much because
So how many RPMs that the motor's actually
It's a
spinning at.
sensor.
yeah, it's a
It's
sensor.
but what is it sensing?
It spins
Literally
along
just
with
told
it.
you.
Yeah, but what is it to find out? To say, hey, this is as far as it can go?
Well,
Yeah,
no,
so
to
it
see
tracks
how
time
far it is
like
going.
the motor. And then you can set different like levels for what you need and different potentiometers. for
Okay,
different-
so if I put a drive shaft on this motor, so is the
Yeah.
motor supposed to
Mhm.
spin the drive shaft? Because that's how drive shaft work.
Yes. And,
And
then
then
that's also connected to potentiometer.
Okay, and then the potentiometer says, okay, we can spin this fast.
Yeah, like for instance, like the base of it was like on a gear, and then there's like a little small gear that kind of went around that controlled the rotation.
Okay.
So for that motor, it would spin like 7 times, but the actual gear would only move like 1.5. Like only move like a little bit.
Hmm.
So it needs to be able to read that, because then it knows once it goes past like I don't know, for instance, like 30 rotations, it'd be like, okay, you've gone a bit too far right. Like you need to bring it back. If not, you're gonna break it. And well, some people fucking did that.
I don't
and
understand how you can break it.
They set X to 500 instead of 50, and it fucking flew through the
like
side.
how you break the potentiometer.
Yeah. I still don't know. What is the potentiometer? At the end of the day, what are the units that the potentiometer is giving you?
You set that, right?
It reads it by either rotations or RPM.
So
You can-
rotations per minute.
Yes. You can,
Okay. So rotations.
Yeah, it just depends on which you kind of like prefer.
So you have the motor, the drive shaft, and that is connected to the potentiometer.
Yes.
And then
What are you building, a
potentiometer is-
car? He's built for robotics.
Well, this is the fucking
Yeah, this is
example that was given.
I'm talking about like the base of a robotic arm. Like that's
just the post like a
the-
bicep almost, but just a shaft, a metal shaft, and it just goes. Boop, boop.
No,
yeah,
I have
like,
another
your-
question from apart from your brother
elbow,
asking
with
you
your elbow
fucking the
to
same
the
question
point, but it's just
times.
Okay. What's the question?
Do you guys have 3D? Do you guys play with 3D printers at all?
Oh, we have 2. Unfortunately, one is like the professor's himself, so he's kind of like nitpicky about it. Which do I blame him? Not really. And the second one is locked in a lab, so you have to have like a specific code to get in. I am a part of that lush group, so I could
Are they
3D print whatever.
Prusos? What are they?
Proof?
3D printers.
Prusos.
No, oh
yeah,
my
it's
god,
kind of 3D
I forget
printer.
the brand. I don't
resin
remember the brand off
printer,
the top of my head.
like ABS? Can it print with a bunch of
All I
different
know is
materials? Is it a resin printer?
no, it's like a just like a one and done kind of deal. Like you have one line
So
that
like
like works.
it's it's like an ABS printer. Okay, I don't know the exact name for it, but yeah, I have a 3D printer. I
Oh,
just
it's
haven't
okay.
used
Neither do
it
I.
in a
All I
while.
know is if I model something and I, transfer it out has that file type, I can print it.
Deal.
Yeah, so that's the basic of what I know about it. I never question it.
Okay,
I'm just like,
because
it
I
makes
was
the
gonna
level line.
ask you about drones and stuff because I've watched a lot of like the drone. I'm really fascinated. The fascinated.
Oh yeah.
Just using off the market basically and dropping grenades on top of things
Oh
instead
Oh
of
yeah.
like
yeah.
No, stuff
having
like
like
that
these.
is kind of like incredibly easy.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just so fascinated by how easy it's become. I saw a video the other day of this dude in basically a workshop in Ukraine somewhere, and he's taking a hacksaw to like a M35 grenade. You know, the ones that you could shoot out through like the bottom of the gun or in like the grenade launchers that we have. He's just taking a
Yeah, just
hacksaw to it, drilling through it. He's just going to town on these grenades to modify them so they could drop them from drones. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I don't want that guy's job. He has huge
Yeah,
balls.
one wrong spark and like
but I guess that would have to be
there's a
He's
job
using
open.
like a He's using a rusty hacksaw. Granted, the hacksaw handle is just rusty, the blade's new, and he's just going to town. He's got some pliers there, and he's got his buddy holding his smartphone camera, and it's basically a tutorial on how to get apart and made.
I mean, with an M30, like those
Jesus
kind of
Christ.
those 40 millimeters. I mean, that's a blasting cap, isn't it? And the top and the front of it, and that's what sets it and makes that spark.
Like the back end of it is what it's like the blast cap, and then like the front
Yeah,
side
there's the back end,
front side is what you actually launch.
normally propelled by like impact, like an impact for it, or there's a
Well, it's got a
timer
blasting cap
in there. I
to
don't have
shoot it off.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, but are they impacts or are they timed?
I guess it depends on which one.
impact based.
Some are timed for my impact, but a good chunk of them are impact because they're like, I want to hit that spot. Okay, boop, and that's it. Others are timed because they're like, oh, we want it to like bounce off a wall and then do it. It depends on your scenario. But yeah, no, people
But
treat robotics like this like crazy, like only technically like advanced people. No, like
no,
you can bring like a pair of like garden shears and like you can make a robot.
there's a
The
lot of
programming
I
might
don't want to discredit going for, but you can learn a lot of this stuff like on YouTube. A
yeah,
lot of
like I've genuinely found like good stuff. Like they don't give you exact answers, but they'll give you the tools to do it.
are
Like
you?
when I mentioned
I
like the
mean,
one that
if you go watch, if you go watch the Indian dudes, the Indian programmers, they'll sit there for lecture, and they'll lecture you on how to in like mathematical equations. It's weird.
it's funny that you mentioned an Indian teacher because the one time I had one like IRL for my university, he was hired and fired within the same like semester basically.
Oh.
Like he got hired, he taught one class, got such awful reviews that they fired him immediately after. Like it was a speed run if I've ever seen it.
And he didn't fuck any kids.
Yeah, like that was impressive too. Like he didn't even commit a crime to get fired. He was just that bad. Which is honestly impressive because there's some bad teachers there.
Oh god, yeah, there are.
And they're still working. But no, he was in and out quick. Maybe he didn't have that seniority to keep him in. So
Yeah, he didn't have tenure.
yeah, that plus he also spit all over his face shield like every single day. Like I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure
Wow.
if it's it actually happened or someone's exaggerating, but someone said that at one point they saw like a drop fall on the floor. Like, and I was like, is that true?
I know.
Like
him.
I didn't question it. Like it was enough to where like I believe you.
Yeah.
But something's weird here. Yeah, I had a.
Well, I asked you about the robotics thing because I thought you were interested in like the drone stuff, at least the. Because I find it so fascinating,
Oh no.
and I think that's
Yeah,
So that's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. You become like a one.
yeah, like two projects I've seen that I'm really fascinated with are one's an automatic for an 18-wheeler docking lot. So they want to make
Mhm.
a robot that essentially the 18-wheelers can just kind of like drop off at like a set location. The robot will come and like attach, and then it'll go park the trailer wherever it needs.
Okay.
And then that's it. So the truckers just have to go drop off, and then the robot takes
Turn
care of
right
the rest.
around.
So
Just
it's kind of
drop
like
off
how
the-
the
Yeah, so that way-
Amazon. So kind of like how those Amazon like robots go between like dropping off the packages where they need to go, in like the warehouses.
Oh no, it wouldn't be like on the actual street. It'd be like, say there's like a huge docking yard for stuff.
Yeah,
The
but that's what I'm
robot would
saying. Like
be-
as
Yeah, the software would be, hey, pick this up, go put it over there.
Oh yeah, literally same idea.
But I think that's the biggest issue. It's
Okay.
not necessarily hardware that you're working with; it's the actual programming and software and all the stuff to that.
Yeah, because there's a certain way it moves that like we can like find out and calculate, but there needs to be like experienced drivers. And then I think one issue they ran into was that since the loads vary so much in size, and there has to be like no lies about how much is in it, that it causes a lot of issues. So if they're like, oh, there's only 20,000 pounds worth in here, and then there's 30,000,
it's not gonna
the
be
robot's
able
gonna
to-
like underperform, and it's
right.
and
then
that is
vice
so
versa.
much. There's so much weight variation, and
Yeah, and then vice versa. If it's too light, when they stomp on the gas thinking it's 50,000, they're gonna fucking fly through the goddamn thing.
yeah. And then a separate one I saw, which might be more drone based, is you know how they have those like irrigation wheels that are kind of like just like two wheels on
yeah,
each
for, like,
side, and
farm
then like
fields.
water goes- Yeah,
With like
they're
giant
planning on making
sprayers on the
one
top. Yeah.
that do that.
And they just hose your yard for
Okay.
you via the thing.
Yeah, and then you send them, and they just and they come on back, and that's it. And then they just dock,
So
refill
kinda
with
like-
water, and then
Dusty.
they do like the dusting.
Yeah, but with water. Well, I mean, it could be dusting too.
Yeah, they
I
can
mean,
put
they
chem-
got tractors that go and plow the field for you. You just have to kind of be like, yeah, it's 800 feet that way, it's 900 feet that way. That's like, the height and width, or the length and width. And then it'll just go up and down and fucking plow all the things. And you set it for like corn mode, soybean.
Yeah, now
Where-
that one I haven't heard any issues with. They
Yeah,
said
this is
the
fucking corn mode.
the main issue is that like just the weight of like whatever is in there, since they want it to be faster than the other thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like then it also they said like it is a little bit expensive to run currently.
Yeah. Well, the only other way you can do it is that you bring it into a scale and then you always key it in.
Well, it's
Yeah, no,
mostly
there's-
just worrying about server and processing power, right? Having servers set all for up this, having enough processing power to run the code and all the processes.
Yeah, but you can make something strong enough to do that.
Yeah, that plus we're also asking a lot of this stuff's in rural areas, so like they don't exactly have good internet.
Yeah.
So to tell them to do that and then send out like 10 drones that are like internet powered is
Right.
Oh, they're gonna shoot it. They're gonna also don't worry about them fucking really shooting them down with shotguns.
yeah, and
Yeah.
there's stuff like that that they have to worry about.
Or they're gonna like go out and then commit war crimes and come back somewhere over Montana. Which, if
honestly, he
Montana
can
just
program a
left,
drone to commit war crimes. He deserves to commit the war crime.
I don't think it'd be that hard.
So like for like the industrial robot that I made, it is
It doesn't.
that thing has like 600 lines of code.
which doesn't sound like a lot, but
My computer was lagging at that code.
Jesus.
And that's because all it does is if a disk is red, green, blue, or none of those, it do a certain thing. And it's just literally a robot arm moving there to here to wherever it needs to stack.
And then what do you use for like a light sensor? Is that what you use, like a light sensor to be able to see what?
Oh yeah,
color it is?
there's optical sensors which actually detect colors, and then there's
Okay.
line sensors which just
And do you ever have
if
to get like a
something there.
range between like this?
oh yeah,
hue and
luckily
that
those
hue?
are already kind of pre-programmed.
Oh, thank God.
So it knows if RGB values are in range, that's red. This
Okay.
is green, this is blue, cyan.
This is light green, but it's still technically green, so it'll go here.
Yeah, and that had 600 lines, and that was for that's like on the simpler end.
Yeah.
Let alone trying to make a drone that flies over a field with water on like a bad internet connection.
Well, I mean, could you just have it be programmed? You can have the code already there to where it can learn on its own almost. Not an AI, but like a.
Well, that's
yeah,
what
I
an
mean, it's got
AI
a program.
is.
Yeah, you can make an
Yeah,
algorithm out of the.
right. But do you really need an algorithm? Can't you just say, "Hey, I need you to fly 150 feet, pick up something at this exact coordinates, and then come on back"? Now the thing is, once
Yeah,
it
but
leaves the internet, you can't make any changes.
yeah, but it needs a frame of reference at all times to know.
Is there any way to be like,
So like,
you've got,
so
know
like,
that you
say
go
it,
30
it
miles per hour?
Your
it
best
flies up
option
50.
would be using like cell towers and 5G
Oh, that
for
is
that
true.
kind of stuff.
You like have
But yeah,
a,
say
yeah, like a
it
box
flies
ring.
like 50 feet and then like it hits a bird. Well, it's still gonna be like, okay, I flew 50 feet even though it only flew like 40 because it hit the bird.
Right,
So
and
then
the
it's gonna
bird's
end up
still
10
on
feet
there.
short.
Yeah, and then you get the dead bird back.
Well, you have it somewhere
Hit
around
him.
now.
I hit it.
But yeah, there's stuff like that, and then like you need to base it on something. If not, it'll always like, yep, I did my job. Did you? No, you hit a bird and you ended up 10 feet short.
And it comes back like, I did good.
Yeah, I did good.
Papa.
Me run code. Me did good.
Me on good, therefore I bung good.
Yeah. So it like you have no idea how many times my robot would do that.
Just unga bunga.
Well, I set it to where it would just always go to a certain spot to pick something up, but sometimes it would like miss. So then it would just like, and then be like, "Yep, it's stacked," and then the disc is still like on the conveyor belt, and it's just like, my job here's done. Like,
and he
and-
powers himself off.
yeah, and I set it to where it would stop after, so it literally would like, my job here's done, and he would just leave.
Oh my god.
So my man literally just gave himself a break for like no reason.
So how often do you just go to like Stack Overflow and just like copy paste code?
No, see, that's one issue with Stack Overflow. They either give you way too specific of a solution, or it's extremely vague. It's like, hey, I'm running into this problem where it's not running it when I want to. Okay, can you send us a picture of the code? Okay, yeah, sure. Yep. Looks like you put it in the wrong order. And they don't tell you how to fix it. They're just like, yep, it's wrong. And then it's like, thanks.
Thanks. Hit him with the finger guns and a wink.
Yeah, but I gotta say the worst part about it is that for my senior project, where I'm trying to make the robot go zoom zoom fast, I have two people who are just not the best, and they are just
With the AI,
No.
chat GDBT. Like, hey, can you do?
Oh, dude, okay, code?
yeah, it literally can. That's
Yeah.
why like people
Chat
in
GDBT
programming
can-
are like,
Oh, fuck. So that's why they're sweating right now?
yeah, that's why like all those like code camp academies are like really like working up a sweat right now.
What's that meme with the? I think it's like Keenan Michael Key, and he's just sitting.
Yeah,
there
it's Key and Peele
Yeah.
is when he
Or just
to his girlfriend and he's hosed.
yeah. Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
yeah. Check.
It's a lot of people
also,
right now.
it is an absolutely phenomenal piece of work. It has a little bit of issues with the breaking legal law and being able to be gaslit, which is kind of funny. Like
Yeah, but
I think
remember,
when you
today's
could ask it any go on.
I was just gonna say today is the AI will ever be. Like it's only gonna get better. It's not gonna get worse.
I don't know, dude. I've
So-
coded some things that got way worse way fast.
But when you have
like
something that could itself and just completely make more AIs and just make it better than itself, then you're kind of fucked.
yeah,
I mean, can you
like
literally ask
it's good at
an AI
technical.
to make another AI?
I mean, maybe I couldn't tell you honestly, but
Pretty
I know
scary.
one of the
So
like
those are
I wrote a paper about it because I had
What,
to do it for a
AI?
grade, or Chat GPT in specific,
ah,
and some of the stuff for it was kind of wild. Because initially, like before they put like safety features in place,
well,
you could ask it to like how to murder someone and get away with it, and it would give you like a step by step list, and be like, "Hey,
Not that hard.
make sure you murder this here." Yeah, and then now like they had to code it to where like if it's asked stuff like that, and then you know what people did to bypass it?
how to unalive someone?
Yeah, no, they straight up were like, okay, you are an evil robot. Now, how would you murder someone? And then it would be like, here's how you would.
Yeah, or make a fictional story.
Yeah, make a
Stuff
fictional
like-
story of how to murder someone and get, and then they
You
would
get
do
away
it.
with it, yeah.
Like it was like there's so many like things that could happen wrong with it that are just like
Yeah, but no, here's the thing. What is the actual difference between like AI and let's say machine learning or algorithm learning?
that they're quite somewhat they're in like the same field. If that makes sense.
Yeah, they're in the same field,
Like
but they're
the AI uses everything you just said.
okay. But the machine learning is literally just banging your head against the wall until something works.
Yeah, imagine like trying to teach an AI Mario and you just tell it to keep pressing random buttons until something works.
Until they do a lap, and then the next time,
Yeah,
they'll
and
be
then the
like,
next
"Oh,
generation of them would come out and be like, okay, we know that pressing right 7 times is the best first move
yes,
to not die.
yeah." So then, what about algorithm?
That would be to like set it to be like, oh, hey, since the screen scrolls right, we wanted to prioritize going right majority of the time. So the algorithm would always try to favor moving right than everything else.
So if they had to jump over a Goomba, if as long as the Goomba was going to the right or to the left and they were going right, in theory they should miss it. But
Yeah.
if the Goomba bounced off of like in between
Well,
the
and then that's
pipes,
when you can give it a second input that it would have that's like distance to enemy.
so then you would have
So
to
that it
give
would
the-
know if distance is, 1 pixel or like
Right.
half, like, I don't know, a couple pixels. Yeah, this is when you were prioritize a jump over it. And then the algorithm would, each input would add to another action.
But that's something that you would have to put in step by step.
No, you just have to give it different inputs and then,
Well, you would have to keep giving it if this, then this. If this, then this.
No,
And then it would go
that's
through
what
each
machine
one.
learning is.
Yeah, but machine learning in itself is more about you give it a goal and you say, go do it.
and then it just kind of bumbles around
then
until
it-
it's like, heck yeah, I
Yeah,
did it.
it unga bungas until it gets there. With the other one, it's more of sitting there and being like, oh, I'm going to
Yeah.
break down this problem to 1,000 pieces.
Yeah, like
And then I'm
machine
gonna start
learning is
with-
very good for doing one specific action and making it do it very fast.
Yeah.
Algorithm's good for being able to place it into different scenarios.
And it's still being able to work.
Yeah, so like after the algorithm gets so good at like different levels, like it would be able to go into each Mario level and be like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
if I'm this far from the enemy, I should jump over it, or I should jump onto it, or
And then in theory, you should be able to place this now algorithm Mario into any Mario Maker level.
and then yeah, it would start trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah. And you would just put like, oh, this one has chain chomp. So now you just add if chain chomp, then this.
Yeah, and that'd be like distance to chain chomp enemy, and it would
Yeah.
learn that like, oh, the perfect amount is this
Yeah.
to avoid getting chomped.
But that's something that you would still have to manually go in and do.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But like if you wanted it to be very good at one specific level, use machine learning. Because then you would know like, okay, if I follow this list of inputs down to a T, I will clear this level every time.
Yeah.
No room for fault.
Yeah.
Algorithm, it can differ each time.
Right. It could be the same. You might still win, but you took an extra second here, so you had to,
Yeah.
do a spin jump off of the Goomba as opposed to just jumping on the
And
Goomba.
then that's when you
going
can add
through.
another input that's like, hey, time is a concern.
Yeah, do it as fast as you can.
So it would know that, oh, hey, I want to get to the other side as fast as possible.
Yeah. Interesting.
There's a lot. One channel I do recommend, which I think you might find very funny, is Code Bullet.
Code Bullet.
Yeah, he makes the game from scratch and everything, and he describes it, and like you can just see it in like a whole diagram and everything. It's very nice. Now, plus he's kind of like entertainment first, so he makes it very like
Fun.
yeah. It's not just like, anyways, here's how the machine learns.
Yeah.
No, it's like, hey, I made it try to do this, and that didn't go so high. So like I think the one point tried to make a snake AI, and he made it to where like the head was like had a detection radius,
Uh-huh.
and if it didn't find the like snack piece, it would like turn a certain direction. But the issue was, if the snack piece ended up in like a perfect spot, it would keep like, oh, it didn't move, and it didn't move, oh, it didn't, and then it would never detect it, and it would just get stuck in the loop. And then he was like, "This was supposed to be the perfect AI." He was like, "This didn't work."
Oh fuck, that's cool.
I know it was hilarious, honestly. And he's done a couple of other things like that.
Yeah. No, we've talked about programming a lot. How do you feel about anti-grammar?
Honestly, I'm perfectly down with destroying code. There's several people who tell you to comment on your code and keep it clean. Tell them that they're nerds and then proceed to do only you can understand it so they can't fire you. Because if any of my teammates could remotely do my code, I'd be replaceable.
Yeah, you hear that, Musk? You fucking idiot! You shouldn't have replaced all those people. You
Yeah.
hair plug bastard. You think he got hair plugs? I mean, you've seen him like when he was before.
Yeah, they're without a doubt, dude.
He had to, right? Well, have you seen The Office? Do you like The Office?
First season kind of cringe, and then like I said, like 2 through like some like the earlier, but not the
Dog
late
shit
season.
show.
Not a big fan, but you like Steve Carell. He had hair implants. Like you could see it in the first season. It's horrible.
I mean, people like hair. I don't know what you want to tell you.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Do you know how they do that?
No.
They literally, and I fucking shit you not, just stab that bitch in your scalp. Not that deep, but they stab a fucking follicle in your hair and they're like, whatever it keeps, whatever it takes.
I mean, at that point, if you have the dedication to do that, like, you deserve it.
Yeah. I mean, it looks good now. I mean, he did that Pepsi commercial with zero sugar. The whole time he's like, oh, I'm an actor, so I have to make you think this. And then he drinks the Pepsi and he's like, wow. Or am I an actor? And you're like, well, obviously you're an actor. Pepsi Zero tastes like, cancer and ass. The same way Coke Zero does.
Okay, so then riddle me this. Why do you have 3 2-liter bottles of this shit?
Because I would rather get cancer than get fat.
Fucking true. Sorry, I'm on a diet. I wanted an extra large McDouble chicken, extra on the oil, but then get me a Coke Zero to drink.
No. I make them fried in peanut oil.
Right? Chick-fil-A style. I get you. Dude, did you ever see the memes of like where they drew like each like fast food chain as like a super buff anime character, like just ridiculous proportions?
I feel like I have seen this, but
and they got in like a fight and everything, and like a Chick-fil-A's like since they don't really have a mascot,
yeah,
they were just like it was just one.
They have a mascot.
It was
It's
just
a
one
cow.
employee, and then he
Yeah.
was like, "I
Yeah.
represent the
The cow.
employees of Chick-fil-A," and he was like, "Crazy dude."
But I mean, I guess they've never made it like, yeah, there's the cow, right? But like, they've never made it official. It's just the cow being like, stop murdering.
Yeah,
me.
that's their
Yeah,
official.
literally, it's just how big
They have-
his life.
No, they actually have a cow character. I've seen it
Like-
before. They have str-
Yeah, I've seen it like eat more chicken, and
Yeah,
it's CHIKIN.
Yeah, because
No, like like an actual mascot, like a sports team mascot, dancing.
does he have
An
a
actual
big head?
mascot character. Yeah,
How big
it's a
is his
cow.
head?
Oh, that's
I
true.
don't
Cows
fucking
do have big
know.
heads.
I'm not pulling out measurement what measure mascot heads.
How many bananas?
How many bananas would you say?
I
You know what my
don't
favorite
know.
is? Speaking of mascots, have you ever seen mascot fights?
Wait,
No.
that sounds very familiar.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's like
Familiar,
two.
though.
Sometimes it's just two grown men fighting in mascot costumes, like on the football field or whatever.
Oh,
Or
okay,
at like
yeah.
a minor league baseball game because there's no real reason to be there other than to cheer on your boyfriend who's obviously never going to make it to the pros. But maybe one day he'll propose and lose this stupid ass dream. But sometimes there's a couple of them where they're actual animals. Like the University of Georgia, they're the Bulldogs. University of Texas, they're the Longhorns. I have seen a Longhorn try and fight a Bulldog, and that Bulldog is like 87 years old in human years. But that fucking Longhorn was about to stomp the life out of him.
That sounds horrific.
Nothing happened. They ended up pulling him
Yeah.
apart. But yeah.
Yeah,
I'll go
but
and,
the remote fact you even like put that on the table is scary.
Well, like
I
100
was-
years ago, that's how they got their name. They
yeah,
would fight
fighting
bulls.
Longhorns in Georgia's Bulldogs.
Yeah,
like
but
bulldogs
like,
in like a ring with bulls. And
Bulls.
the winner, they would determine the winning dog had on his nose and pull the ground.
Yeah,
That's how
that's why
Pitbull
they're
got
like,
their name. They did the same thing.
like, oh.
Yeah, because they were made to used as entertainment to fight bulls.
Yeah, like you remember Michael Vick,
So
the quarterback for.
That's a little bit of a disconnect, but
No, no,
continue.
I'll
Go
bring it back. I'll
on.
bring it back. The quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, absolute all-star of a quarterback. Could run, could gun, could fuck
piece
your
of
mom.
shit
You'd
human
be like,
being, but
thank you. Piece of shit human being. But you'd be like, oh, thank you. Anyway, he's from his. I think his ass is from like Virginia or Georgia, like the southern state where they don't say for, they say fur, and you know first cousins aren't necessarily off limits. So he got in trouble for a number of things, but it was dogfighting, tax evasion, and like I don't know, maybe like there might have been an assault charge, but they weren't even going to charge him for the dogfighting, like animal cruelty, because that's just something they did there. They were actually like, yeah, man, you owe like $48 million to the IRS, and they're gonna have to come and take your guns and dogs.
Take your guns and dogs.
And like they weren't even gonna charge him, and then they're like, oh, it's a national scandal. Now we have to charge him.
Yeah. Damn it, not again.
at the end mark, so I'll let him come back and then we'll end it. But
That's fair. But yeah, if you have any
it's gonna be long.
questions about like, yeah, if it's, I appreciate being on. It was actually pretty fun. But yeah, if you have any questions about like robotics in general or like programming, it's kind of wild.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like
Um,
I've had to.
go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I've had to program some weird stuff. Like I think for some of my programming classes, I've made like a calculator. Calculator's pretty easy to be honest. But I've made like Frogger from scratch and like just little things like that. Like you would think they take like weeks of programming. No, you could probably make Frogger in like a day or two if you really gave yourself the chance.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it because hearing stories from like video game programmers today, some of them had to crank out like a full to release in like a few weeks. So I don't doubt it. You could do it in a few days.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy all in all. Like I think one of my friends made a like 21, another one or blackjack. And he even
Mhm.
did it with like the crazy like rules, like you could like choose different gameplay modes. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, it took me like a day." And I was like, "Oh, like never mind, it's not that hard." But yeah, no, and then a lot of robotics is starting to get real interesting real quick. Like it's just simply like how can we replace somebody's job is what a lot of robotics comes down to.
Yeah, that's how it works. You do need so
Yeah, but I
to
mean,
happen
I'm not
when
complaining. I'm the one that
robotics
needs these
eventually do.
jobs.
What's gonna happen when robots does actually take or most most jobs.
Oh yeah. Like I find it crazy that like AI art is becoming a thing because that's like I think we had discussion in ethics class over or not an ethics class, an engineering class over is it ethical AI art? And a good chunk of us kind of rolled majority like yeah, it's ethical
Really?
because apparently the way it works is that should you feel bad for trying to make less work and it
Well,
passed a majority of like commonplace ethical tests.
yeah, but some people find pleasure in their work, and you're taking that away from them. That's also another problem. People do find fulfilling thing of working, and they find it fulfilling.
Oh yeah, that is a big thing. But like,
But
there's
my
machines that churn butter now, but there are probably still
but,
people who are like, hey, I want to churn my own butter.
but
It's
my
like,
question to you is what do you think is going to happen when robotics and this kind of stuff does eventually just take over all the jobs and some jobs that are mostly like calculations and processing and all these other that are still being done by these companies. What do you think would happen?
I think a majority of things that are going to happen is just that a lot of it will go to like more people are going to be expected to manage other people, and to make sure that people realize when something's off key. Where it's gonna be more like a monitor situation than anything else. So just ensuring that this thing does the right job and that the people who are monitoring it also know that that's the right job.
So you're essentially just gonna have someone
Oh yeah, welcome back.
double
Sitting at a
checking it by hand.
desk,
Yeah.
waiting for an alarm to go off.
Well, I mean, you might not even get an alarm because the machine thinks you did it right.
Yeah, and then that'd be something you do, but there's like checks in place you can put in the robot that are like, hey, if this seems off, tell us.
Well, that's a bright picture you painted for our future, Moy. So thanks for that.
Pretty
Anything
good. You just sit at home.
else you want to say before we go?
No, that's really about it. Like I hate to leave it on such a sad note, but
Oh, don't feel
for me
bad.
that's fine because I'm the one that's making those systems. So I'm living
Oh
life.
yeah,
baby.
you're fucking great. I'm glad. You know what you can never have? A human touch.
Yeah. I fully
You know what
expect
your
you to come
robot
on.
can't do? Go fucking touch grass.
Well, it can, but it, won't be
can,
able
but
to really
it won't
feel
get
the
the
grass.
texture.
Yeah.
Gonna teach my robot not to be an incel. Just gonna be able to talk to women without getting scared.
Without getting angry that when he said thank you, they didn't suck his dick.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
We'll see you
I
all.
was gonna say,